transformation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to WUB. And all the things that we happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling is the show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WUB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WUB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is the show, my people. Believe our hopes so to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we're dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah. No respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes to be. And all the things that will happen and not got blue skies. And nothing that people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize.
And welcome to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes from behind the zinc fence, 3304 Amandala Drive, sweet Southside, Belize City. For we time Belizeans. I'm Sister YaYa Marin Coleman, sitting in for Brother Most High this morning for Monday, February 16th, 2026. Give thanks to wake up.
Our forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for sunny skies today with a few cloudy spells, and high temperatures are expected to reach 84 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 88 inland and 80 over the mountains. Tonight, the skies will be clear to partly cloudy with low temperatures of 72 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 64 inland and 60 over the mountains. No rainfall is expected. The winds will be light and variable at first. Later, the winds will blow from the east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and the sea state will be slight. A high tide will occur at 9:56 a.m., a low at 3:18 p.m., and a high at 9:32 tonight, and a low at 4:31 in the morning. The sun will rise at 18 minutes past 6 this morning and set at 5:54 in the evening. The moon comes up at 5:46 this morning and will set at 5:23 in the evening. The outlook for Tuesday and Tuesday night is for fair and mostly dry conditions to prevail. In the sargassum forecast, a few sargassum mats approaching the coast of Belize are expected to arrive during the next few days, producing moderate impacts. And in the fire forecast, the risk for forest and brush fire will be low. And that concludes your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Mapan are investigating the murder of two men. The shooting occurred on Friday night before 8 along the central walkway that leads to the shopping area where Brody's is located. The men were walking near the Independence Park, a stone's throw away from the Anglican Church, when they were ambushed by a group of men who fired multiple shots at them. The victims have been identified as 20-year-old Calvert Webster and 21-year-old Zamar Alvarez. Police Corporal Kenrick Ball was notified on February 13 by Deputy Commissioner Bart Jones that he has been placed on suspension. Jones is the director for the Standards and Accountability Branch of the Police Department. Jones, on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, cites Section 8, Subsection 1 of the Police Act, which gives the compelled the authority to suspend sergeants, corporals, or constables if he deems them to be, quote, remiss or negligent in the discharge of his duty. Then posted to social media images of the losses at one farm in the area of El Pilar. In total, the report is have lost more than a dozen heads of cattle in a month and a half. They explain that they are at a loss on what is causing the deaths, as they do everything possible to ensure healthy cattle. They noted that the animals' vaccination regime is updated and the cattle dying are all healthy. One farmer who explained that they have been experiencing the deaths for some years shared that tests have been done but none have revealed the cause. Other farmers have expressed frustration, saying that authorities ascribe the deaths to tick fever, but the farmers argue that they safeguard against that as well. An official from the Ministry of Agriculture informed that they are aware of the situation, which appears to be recurring for 2 years. They added that the situation is being studied, but say initial findings are pointing to anaplasmosis, which is spread by tick bites. In the meantime, ranchers are losing thousands of dollars in lost cattle. One resident made the unusual observation that the carcasses are avoided by vultures. The People's United Party on Sunday held a National Party Council meeting in Belmopan in a show of unity and support for its planned Belize 2.0 agenda. The event, which brought together the regional leaders, delegates, and supporters, was held 10 years after John Briceño was elected party leader, also in Belmopan. Among other businesses, the NPC passed a resolution to support the pause on discussions regarding BTL's intended acquisition of SpeedNet Communications Limited. The resolution affirmed that, quote, competition, innovation, and consumer protection are the cornerstones of a healthy telecommunications sector, and that any consolidation must demonstrably serve the Belizean people, not merely the commercial interests of shareholders, end quote. Present was Orange Walk South Area's representative Jose Mai, while Julius Espat was absent. Belize City Councillor Elude Miller has introduced a race to the cycling calendar. It's in honor of his birthday on January 30. This year, the dates fell on a Friday and the race was held the Sunday after. It's a 1.6-mile race from the Smart Roundabout on the Philip Golson Highway to the roundabout near Brody's Agrochemicals, with the finish line at M&M Engineering. This year, there was participation from between 80 to 100 riders, and over $4,000 in prizes were distributed. He shared how the race came about.
Really birthed out of me sitting at Mr. Ordonez's bike shop, and we had a conversation about my upcoming birthday and my newfound love for cycling. No, I recently bought a bike. My colleague YaYa convinced me to, and so I've been out on the road. And so I said, you know what, I want to do something different. You know, birthdays are about giving thanks, but I wanted to do it in a different way this year. And so I wanted to partner with the cycling community to get people out and get people together. And so that's really how it came about. And so I must give thanks to Troy Gab Jr. And the Weekend Warriors Cycling Club for partnering with me and really helping me to organize, as well as Mr. Ordonez and YaYa as well. And so we were able to even invite the elites and the juniors, as well as the Weekend Warriors Cycling Club. And we also had a female category. The energy was good, and so I want to thank everybody who collaborated, everybody who came out, and so I'm looking forward to next year's as well. Yeah, well, the novice category was won by Mr. Joseph Nunes Jr. That was a very interesting race. I participated in that race. It was a bit more challenging than I expected, to be honest. I've been putting in some serious miles, but I mean, you know, casually riding and racing, two different things. But he came out on top. We, of course, in the novice race had the participation of Miss Indira Craig, and so I must thank her for coming out as well. YaYa Katus won the female category, and then you had Mr. Rocky Matos winning Weekend Warriors. You had Brandon Katus placing second for category A in the Weekend Warriors, and I think you had Mr. Bob Gabriel win category B, if I'm not mistaken, for Weekend Warriors.
That's at the end of this morning news brief. Immediately after Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes at 9 o'clock, you could tune in to Creme Radio and listen to Morning Stew from 9 to 12. We'll get news updates, community news, and I generally make the traditional news wrong. And then at 12:30, you have one full news package on Creme Radio. At 3 o'clock, there's a news brief. And at 5:15, one full news package on Creme Radio. YaYa XTV, 6 o'clock, you have one full news package. You could download the Creme Radio and XTV apps. Or you could go to Facebook, XTV Belize, YouTube, XTV Belize, and listen to it at your convenience. And of course, share the link, and go to YouTube, XTV Belize, and subscribe. We need the numbers to go up. We don't want to lie out to it, so show it with the numbers going up for subscription for XTV. And then anytime we have any new content, you'll be the first person to know. We're going to take a short break, come back, and get into the community conversation.
Informative, current information, Crem's newscast, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Amandala is now online. You can now access Amandala's midweek and weekend issues online by logging on to our website at amandala.com.bz/news and joining our membership portal today. There's 5 easy steps to get unlimited access to weekly e-paper, archive publications, and a host of other exclusive contents. Number 1, go to Amandala's website. Number 2, navigate to subscribe areas. Number 3, choose a membership level. Number 4, check out using our secured portal. Number 5, log into the members only section. Telephone numbers 501-280-4703 or 202-4477. Fax us at 501-222-4702, or you could email at amandalapress@yahoo.com or amandalapress@gmail.com. Amandala, all power to the people.
Belize Morning Vibes at about 10 minutes to 7. The phone line open 280-5848. 280-5848. Carlene and talk about absolutely anything we don't want to talk about. Well, you know how we go. We follow a lot of things within the States. So February instead of Black History Month, I want opportunity for showcase, highlight, stretch talking about the contributions of African descendants, also known as racialized as Black people, and especially the knowledge we're going to share with you in a school. And so I encourage Belizeans, and I think I said it before, if we're not read, I shall take the picture and send it to Christy. If we're not read the book 13 Chapters, A History of Belize in 13 Chapters by Asaj Schumann, the book we have that the second edition, I strongly encourage you to read it. In the past, UEF, UBAD Educational Foundation, has hosted Read and Reason on Creme Radio. Many moons ago, me and Sticks had a blast. All kind of book we read and reason about. Tell the lock we up at the station one time because I went to read and reason about. Remember that, Sticks? And then we had gone to Battlefield Park. We read one book called The Economic Hitman. So I recognize that we deal with a different generation, and the different generation no have the same values as we had. Let's say the people in the 50s and the 40s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. Chris to say even the 90s now, right? That we had a culture of going to libraries and reading social life book. I just never get it. And then when I get the book and I start to read, I'm like, oh my gosh, one lot of stuff in this book that I read in a lot of different books, when really one lot of it compiled in one book. And I want to focus specifically on the contribution of working class people that Belize in a resisting and holding the state accountable, especially because of the work with the Belize Communications Workers for Justice to do. Why I excited about it for a number of reasons. It's bottom up, that means they come from within our community, that everyday working class people will build brick by brick, stone by stone, cable by cable, Belize Telemedia Limited. That a BTL, that a business where Belizeans build, 100% bottom up Belizeans build that. And then what makes them so different is that they're not former BTL employees. Then train formally, informally, then they're on the job for years. They know a lot of things. And remember, this is before internet. So they're really the manual workers and had to do a lot more. Whereas the generation or two after them, the bill pan, that foundation, what they said, and a number of the people don't even know what that the foundation. So today, people at BTL that work right now, they may not come out on the protest line, the current BTL employees, for whatever reason. I don't know if they have an appreciation or even know that the benefits were then they enjoyed at BTL right now, that because of the sacrifices what the BTL workers they make, and some of them have transitioned into the spirit realm. Some of them are very aged and know well, and so they're not able to come out on the protest line. Some of them no longer live in the country. For a number of reasons, you might not see the 200 and plus former BTL employees, but the one that will come out, and the numbers have been increasing. Big respect to Sister Emily Turner, who really do a different type of leadership at the study, and I could definitely learn from her. And to the group who constantly in a dialogue about the severance not being paid by BTL after the, because I appreciate new information, different information, or one different position or interpretation of whatever is being discussed. And one of the points that he make where I really appreciate is that him they say, let's say he made the work that BTL, I just make up this year, in at 2000, right? And at that point, BTL shall give you a severance of $35,000. Well, that means 2,000. They're not $35,000 BTL with an older employee. No, that $35,000 I have a number of questions, right? So I just say, okay, the CCJ ruling said, listen, you have your pension scheme, right? The employee they take money out of your paycheck or out of your money every 2 weeks or every week, and they put it aside for your pension, right? The employees paying to that scheme. Pension, that's one thing. Severance, that's something different. Now, another set of money where the employer supposed to set aside, and then got one formula what they use for how much they set aside over a period of years where you work with an employer, so that when you retire or resign, depending on the circumstances where you left the company, you won't get the pension and the severance. So then my question is, what a business want get the money from for set aside for the severance? Now, especially I think small, medium-sized businesses. One number of businesses they operate not the real. I don't know if I get it right for say this, but if I never ever say it, I just say it and I'll take a hit for it. I can give you a prime example. Most of them wouldn't know right now. I just found this out Saturday that Marva's restaurant has closed down after 30 plus years of being in service, right? Now, you know how hard it was, and I could tell you guys that does be one of my office. For keep one business like that, because the restaurant landscape has changed. One number of people will go there that really out of loyalty for the years of service, and at the years of service at that location, because that's never the only location Marva's restaurant. Morning, Mama Marva. And so it's hard for you make the money. I think one brother called in 2 weeks ago, we do a really good job explaining the situation as a small business owner. And so it really, I don't know, like, I could understand why people want, I would encourage anybody to have their own business. But the part you want to get the money from, I really need to have that conversation for educate employers, how they forget the money for putting out a severance package, what different from the pension package. And again, this is for all workers in the Caribbean. But the more we know as a people, the better position it put to INA for advocate in our West, outside of Belize, the organize, and this is why, thanks to Moses, I changed the mantra, what I know my original mantra from only the people want to save the people to only organized people want to save the people. And so, I wait for a call in, the number is 280-5848, 280-5848. And so, because the funny air, I have to talk, the Black History Month, I will spend quite a bit of time on the BTL acquisition, proposed acquisition, Speednet Smart, which is now on a pause. I want to share some past stories of working class people I believe will resist the system. No, this is over 100 years ago, you know. So remember, legal chattel enslavement ended August 1st, 1838. So I was African emancipation, legal chattel enslavement. And even during the enslavement of African people, the Belize, the Caribbean region, think about the Ako Mutota, who is my co-host on Sunday Review, talk about economic plantation, is that Europeans enslave Africans, enslave African people, slaughter indigenous people, they send the gun first, and then they send the missionaries next. And the missionaries do a really good job in adhering to the colonization of our mind and our spirit. Now, I know this said this to quarrel with nobody. I just want to be open to having one conversation about how we end up in 2026, and that Belizean people, specifically Karayawa, resisted. So in this book, A History of Belize, 13 chapters by Asad Schumann, they have one specific section on page 130. You know how I go. If you're not calling, then I go in our stories. I don't like to say his story, because his story that really European, oftentimes gendered as men stories, interpretation, narrative, as opposed to our stories. So all we have one contribution for talk about with culture, with lived experience of African or indigenous ancestors and ancestresses. So oral stories, very much of deep value, And that could be recipes, bush medicine, how we live every day, primarily in harmony with Mama Earth. So, on page 130, I want to read it straight, right? I'm going to call in and tell me. It said there were many ways in which working people showed their dissatisfaction with their situation. Some were more dramatic and public than others, such as the 1894 and 1919 riots. But it is worth remembering that many other protests occurred. Two early examples will serve to illustrate this point. Now, the 1894 protest we're in the top about happened 132 years ago in Belize. 132 years ago. Now they are tell me one, the one that they want tell me that before 1894. Now I want to. This is very exciting for me because I want to hear who are the people that where we come from, and how they organize, and how they hold power accountable. But they're not teach we intentionally the kind of story because they are inspired way. They make we think. They make we have the courage for the go along and make people a chance, and the people with a chance that we own family, that we own people who look like we. They're not a European colonizer anymore. That people who look like we, deeply colonized and ego-centered. Morning, thank you for call. Talk to it.
I really want to know the last bank so the whole no go up and go up so every minute. And last week I made a call Muri and Mold.
The Lord's Bank. You have electricity, so the electricity is not an issue.
No.
You to listen on radio or TV or online?
On TV.
On TV. You check the other local channels for say if there's issue on the other local.
Yes, I check Love FM and the next radio station and then good, but only cream they go up and go up.
So what you mean when you say go up? The screen got totally black?
No, it don't go blank. It just freeze up like when I freeze up and then turn around and I come back on again and continue the conversation.
And this started to happen since when?
From last week.
From last week. You mind if I ask you who are your provider? How you get?
The line.
Okay. You want to check with the, you may report it today?
I'm not credit
check.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Check with your provider and then I want to make a note I will say and share it with management. But check with your provider.
All right then, yeah.
Thanks for the call, brother. One love. Last banking at the house. Okay, so, and if anybody else they have that issue, please call me and make we know. But important to find out. About 100 workers marched to the office of the local magistrate and threatened to go to Belize Town to protest if he could not resolve their problem. And if that initiative also proved fruitless, then they, quote, would know what to do, end quote. Carmichael was made to withdraw his proposal. So, here we loud and clear this morning, you know. We the talk on a no matter that I'm thinking to hear a big mistake I make last Monday ex-call and hold me accountable. So I use my calculator. 1863 one be 163 years ago. 163 years ago, you hear Maya workers, the protest because they want the employer John Carmichael, who is a major landowner up north, want to kick them off of the land where the Maya workers then lease for subsistence crops unless they agree for work one larger task per day. But 100 of them marched to the office of the local magistrate and threatened for conduct Belize Town for protest if the magistrate not solve this problem. And they said if that not work out, then they want to know what to do. The magistrate was made to, Carmichael was made to withdraw his proposal. That's 163 years ago, and it was a victory for the people. You right, tell you no? Remember that. Okay, next one. No, I have to come back and do make calculation again because, like I tell you now, I want to make sure I get it right. The phone number at 280-5848, 280-5848. and they share the Black History Month now. 140 years ago, listen to this another story, 140 years ago. In 1886, upon the departure of Goldsworthy, a particularly unpopular governor, held responsible for endorsing a canal dredging scheme that caused the yellow fever epidemic. Women were especially prominent in giving him a raucous farewell. The Colonial Guardian of 6 November 1886 reported that as the governor's barge was passing by, a number of children and women, quote, rushed into the sea and taking stones from the sea bottom, sent another shower of stones after the retreating barge, end quote. So no, now Governor Goldsworthy, and people never care for her, became responsible for, they say canal want to say bocha for the dredging and then canal. And to the best of my memory, when they dig it up, they left it like on street side, and that contributed to a yellow fever epidemic. One time, the man, the pine barge, you have to put on a barge for like, say for show, and carry on for making meet the ship going back by come from, that women especially and children start to hibrakata. No, that me in 1886, 140 years ago. Then, now they want to talk about the 1894 riots, and I tell you, this is a story we don't know, but we want people ablaze. Marin, thanks for call. Talk to me.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, sister.
Morning, brother.
I always say I feel happy and thrilled when I hear a female voice on the radio.
Give thanks, brother.
I thank God I don't have the problem because I'm a poor man, so I listen to Unucho, a small radio, so that no go off.
Good, reliable radio.
Huh?
Good, reliable radio.
Yeah. Yeah, Wali radio I got, but I listened clear.
Mm-hmm.
No, you mentioned about the yellow fever. Yeah, I remember for years I noticed that every time they clean the drain, I remember when by Marin they used to dig the water side, the foreshore area, and the trucks loaded with that dirty mud. That spread to the whole street of the city, and then nobody clean it. They just dry right there. And when they dry there, it become dust. And when it become dust, everybody inhale that. That was very detrimental. And missionaries in the time of the colony, when black people was made enslaved and so, I understand one thing for many years. The only thing that's still up to today control people's minds or people whatever is religion and politics. Like we still under that joke of slavery, religion and politics. And final, Black History Month, I remember reading on YouTube when I could see that the hairstyle, as you always talk about the hairstyle of the children and the school, etc., African descent people, the hairstyle was symbol of communication in the African days. The European didn't know that every style of cornrow, whatever they use, it was a way to communicate respect.
Respect, brother. Thanks for the call. And yes, UEF still have the ongoing hair awareness campaign, and that is one of the news stories today, but I want to stretch attacking in at the next break. Thanks, Christy Flores, that the Master Chief Operator or the Technical Director here at XTV. That means not the person who make us say everything we say on TV online. And so he send me one. Talk to it. Morning, you're up on the air.
Yeah, I want to know about the young lady where they may find the gun in the taxi. Nobody no mention about a poor young lady. Me not really know the young lady, but I am a call already, and you know hear nothing about the young lady. They not give her no bail. If I catch one taxi and you find one gun in the taxi, I could understand if the young lady made in something like that before her boyfriend. They deal with that kind of thing now. So man, that like I mean they should not have no heart when it comes to poor people, man. Come on, like use your discretion. They know when to use, they use discretion when they want. Nobody not mention nothing about a young lady. I need to know what happened with the young lady. Because that, I think the advantage, the young lady there back there, pick me the hotel because they say you got pick me. You know, what happened, you know, not care. The last time I talked to the public and the ministers there, Prime Minister and the liars, they were like, take up the people. How no not take up this young lady case? How no not check on that? You know, because I'm a poor person, they not care.
Brother, I'll tell you the truth, I missed that story. My number is 671-8050. Send me a text. I want just dig up and see where I find. I never know that story, so thanks for bringing it to my attention. I can't catch everything. That's why the community will look up for one another interest. So I really respect and appreciate you to stay upon it.
I call in with the one. So nothing and nobody else mention nothing. All the liars, they were like talk, all kind of things. When time they bother them, everybody may know to jump up to the next liar. None else don't tell them set her free. What happened to the young lady? You know, they set her free, but then couldn't get a young lady bail. You know, got a young lady there like a criminal, and I say me the work that we call when you come out, you know, I got no job. Who want help her? Who want help her pick me there? Beside the parents or the family. Some man, they people are not got no mind. That's why so they have to punish them kind of way. Because not got no mind when they come to poor people. You can bring down the hammer and deal it. Then stiff. You don't know if you use discretion when it comes to poor people. We don't have, you know. It really upset me, and nobody else not to mention nothing but a young lady. I don't know how the case gone, but then I know some that and live their life because they live their life because they don't have not much, because they're a poor person. Come on, man. Then people are out of order. It's going to run some chance to set up people. I don't know if they know if they deal with poor people when they come hard. But what about the man where they find with the gun? Where they make gone back to America, You don't think about that, you know for using the discretion though, yeah. But you don't know for using the discretion for poor people, yeah. Have a good morning,
Text me, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
One love. Real talk. That our community, active community participation feel like I going to research a story because I definitely miss it and but I got every reason for jaggery upon it collectively as a community. There's more than one side to every story, so I want to dig into it, but respect to the brother for being consistent. And one of the things I encourage Belizean people, whatever it is that your interest, whatever move you, and I know everybody want everything pan the air, but link with people where you believe have credibility and have one track record of helping people just because they care, and see if you could link if you could find solutions to whatever the challenge may be for you. It's absolutely important that the organizing. That's why I only organize people and save the people that you keep in your contacts, names of people with phone. Just make it be very clear upon that. But got you. I just make it be very clear upon that. But got you. I support the brother position. I have to do some more investigation about it too.
Yes, I know support it. The first time I hear about it, but then for the moment I hear the background of his behavior, what can we do? The magistrate is a magistrate, and if he said there is no bail within a gun findings, then what can you do? Just lay back and then, you know, come on.
No, that's why they call out. That's why they call out for the attorneys. Why call out for attorneys if they want to do pro bono work? That's why he called for them.
No, he does not know if the young lady people's already, you know, looking to an attorney, you know, at least sure before you say something.
But brother, they ring the bell because they say call in last week, I know he had no follow up, so they call in again. So I appreciate that. So
yes, to be honest, I know hear nothing till now, and I hear it now, and I really need to do a follow up on it because I really actually miss a lot of things. From the time when my grandson last out of my life, I really have to listen to news like that, you know, because come on. Just have been upon you two young man get caught, we gotten killed. 20 and 21, my grandson got at 20 years old, right? Come on, no, you make 2 years, man, I still agree for my grandson, right? But anyway, like I say, first time I hear about it and I listen more. When you go dig up and find your fine car here, you know, really miss that, but I really appreciate that I hear about it, right? And I feel to men because, you know, the young lady got children, I don't know, you know, who taking care of. I don't sure, but as I said, no, I didn't call because I want to bash, but like I say, right, we gotta learn to accept the things we cannot change, and I'll show you said. You know, with respect to your opinion too, but yeah, my 2 cents today. And all the best to the young lady, man.
Yeah, have a good day. Have a good day. Thank you so much for the call. That's what we here for. Enjoy your day.
You too.
One love. Respect to the people behind prison walls as well. One number of people. Carla, thanks for calling. Talk to me.
Yes, it's me again. Sister. I support the brother 100%. The brother was called before because it is true. And I don't know how people say that they don't know this kid. I mean, because I heard it many times in different stations about this young lady. Over a month this happened. Over a month. And absolutely nothing says about it after she was arrested. The none but none here in Ghana, and that's it. And but I realized when you got it good, when your money large, you have a lot of avenues. When you are poor, no avenue. Regardless of what they say, legal aid and this and that, and nothing will happen if you don't got it large. I know a lot of cases when people have large money, immediately the case taken care. When poor people have problems, nobody, absolutely, that's it for it. And finally, on Saturday, they had the Valentine European celebration. I would say in the African Yoruba celebration, Wadada, one love for all the Afro-conscious people. I got.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for the call, guidance. Brother said that true. I mean, it's just a sad situation that impoverished people don't have the resources, and the resources that are just money. They're really not having the knowledge, the know-how, the time, the transportation, the child care. It's a lot. Once you get, or one of your family members get caught up in a legal system, I will not talk about how much time you take the effort for go to court and adjourn the case, and you go to court again, and they adjourn the case, and then you go to court again, and they adjourn the case, and then you go to court again. Small things, but then small things that we glue, we hold it together, and that the beauty of Belize and Belizean people. Real talk. Somebody complained to me last week that they say morning to people when Mawida say maybe that could be Spanish speakers, because you got black people that are Spanish speakers too, but when people look for black people, they might not think that up there are Spanish speakers, but Spanish could be their first language. And so the person felt that the person or the people in way they say good morning to could have been Spanish speakers, and me feel a way that they never answer back. So I said, listen, people have one choice if they want to answer you or not. Not that in choice. You don't know what people live with. You see people, but you don't know what they live with. So you could just say morning loud, and sometimes people got earpiece now, you don't know. You could say morning loud and let it go. You say morning car, that you want to say morning, you don't have to say morning. What their purpose of say morning? For the person answer you back? I mean, that for some people, I believe, for a certain generation, that is norm. But you okay? Then I pass and say morning, and if somebody say morning to me or bid me the time of day and I answer, 9 out of 10 times I never hear you. Because once you greet me, I greet you back, and sometimes that me that the one who like the greet people, because I really so. And I like it. That's how you stay connected to humanity. Make somebody know, actually, I see you, I see you out by your community, people that pass by street, vehicle that pass, and you hail people, and people hail you and bother you, and same thing that village life, another business. You got drawbacks, but what are people? So I really like that way I live with a girl sister. I live by George Street. I let's go heal her, holla in here, make a lot of noise, and she said you like to make noise, yeah. But that's a for we I really will stay. She go heal people and check in on people and see how elders they do. Respect to Jean Marin. Transitioning at 2022.
guys, I'm Brick City, and guess what? Good morning to Belize. You're watching WUB on Creme Television and Creme Radio. And guess what? I always want to think about Wangla and fudge. Now, Belizean very, very picky. I don't know whether your favorite one, but I eat a piece of Wangla right now. And guess what? I want to find out whether some Belizean too same pan this Wangla and fudge. Let's go.
Wangla.
Why?
I don't know. I just that the texture for me. Fudge nice and everything, but Wangla nicer.
That your 2 cents.
That my 2 cents.
All right. Easy thing.
Wangla.
Why?
Because I like chew the seed.
All right. That your 2 cents.
Yeah.
All right. You eat Wangla or fudge?
Fudge.
Why?
Make it milk.
What is that?
Yeah.
That's why you like fudge.
Fudge.
All right. What are your 2 cents on Wangla or fudge? Which one you eat?
Wangla or fudge?
Yeah.
Both of them Belizean favorites, right? Creole. But I don't eat none because too much sugar.
All right.
That's my 2 cents.
So what are your 2 cents on? What do you like, Wangla or fudge?
Fudge, because personally I think that tastes better, and I know if I make it.
You can make fudge?
Yeah.
Regular fudge?
Yeah. Peanuts fudge.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. What are your 2 cents on Wangla fudge? Which one you like? As a Belizean.
As a Belizean, I prefer Wangla.
Why you like Wangla?
Because it's sweet like me.
That your 2 cents?
That's my definite 2 cents.
All right.
Tired of replacing light bulbs? LEDs are what you need. LEDs last up to 30,000 hours. That's 30 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and up to 8 times longer than compact fluorescents. So less changing and less trash. Planet Earth thanks you. And the LED experts at Brothers Habet and Habet will help you find the best LED solution with colors for every room and mood, starting as low as $6.95. You can even get LED strips for home, office, and industrial use. So say goodbye to fluorescent tubes forever. And because they use up to 90% less energy, you save money. Money you can spend on other things. So head to Brothers Habet or Habet today.
Es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m. en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, text, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.
We recently formed MOUs with the American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute, which is the education arm of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, and also with the American Culinary Federation to do culinary training. We're here to celebrate our accomplishments. And this is not about replacing Belizean cuisine. This is about, we want the Belizean cuisine, we want the Belizean richness and diversity, right? So this is about your skills. You all know what you all learned, so it's about transferring that skill.
We want to inspire this career because, you know, it's amazing. You love what you do, right? And it really is something that I think we can inspire other young Belizeans to undertake. And it's now part of your responsibility as those who have received this training and see a pathway for greater things.
Just to put it into perspective, there's only about 6,000 certified executive chefs in North America. There is only 69 certified master chefs in the world. There is less than 10 certified executive pastry chefs in this entire world. And now in Belize, we have 3 sitting in this room.
Morning vibes behind the zinc fence suites outside the East City Community Conversation. Somebody called in and shared that they have some challenges this morning watching the program. I'm being told that there was an internet issue. So that's why I tell them I have to check on a provider. That's the best we could do right now. And then I still want to finish read from the 13 history of Belize, 13 chapters, but this is how you could go down rabbit hole, right? So I said, make I go online and say, and this is why knowing your history is so important. Run out, and this is why knowing your history is so important. Run out. So on February, we know February 14 just got here, what you saying? On February 14, 1886, the specifically designated yellow fever and cholera cemeteries located in Yarborough were officially closed. So that cemetery we pass up and down, up at Eton Park now, they're above ground. That was the yellow fever and cholera cemetery. When it comes to disease management, it said the colonial government had to maintain strict, sometimes punitive measures to prevent the spread of yellow fever from known hotspots like Corozal to other parts of the colony, which included restricting travel for residents. Lastly, environmental factors. The period was marked by significant droughts, such as the one in 1889, which often followed the years of or outbreak outbreaks by reducing water sources to breeding grounds for the Aedes aegypti mosquito. And so then it carried me to, you know, like the look for thing. And I want to give the Institute for Social and Cultural Research ISR niche. And this, the on a Facebook page from the 5th of August 2020. It's a history bite number 16. Yellow fever outbreaks in Belize. Yellow fever is a viral. I tell you sometimes you conquer some words like my mind just not work with the pronunciation of the words. Hemorrhagic disease transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. One of the first recorded fatalities in Belize occurred in 1799 aboard a ship in the Belize City Harbor. This was followed by several outbreaks up to the early 1900s. In 1884, Governor Roger T. Gold story. Now, and this is based on research what I do. I'll finish it in a minute, Christy. When I go read, well, not because I look for it specifically, I just read, and I find the whole story. I'm like, but what make them decide to choose that part of the story for tell Belizean people and not this part of the story for tell Belizean people? Because usually I have one small space or period of time to say something, but pay attention to how European racialized as white people often get centered when the state they tell the story. All right, last part of this history bite 16. Two later outbreaks occurred in 1905 and 1921. Nora Murrell, daughter of Governor Ernest B. Sweet Escott, died at the government house. Yeah, well, dead at our government house during the outbreak in 1905. The 1921 outbreak was mostly confined to St. John's College with 18 cases and 4 fatalities. Respect to ISCR niche, but this is from 2020. The phone number at 280-5848, 280-5848. Make a finish giving you story. Morning, Jalima Gold. So the 1894, oh, I pronounced a word wrong just now. Okay, I didn't tell you no. Spelling that not my strength. Arithmetic that not my strength. I'm pronouncing English words that not my strength. But I did try to better, right? So the word rockers. Butcher the word. So the word rockers, you know, like in the cars are rockers over there. We use it in a Creole. People like cars are rockers. You know that's how you spell rockers. It's spelled R-A-U-C-O-U-S. Rockers. I tell you, have a laugh at yourself so tight. The 1894 riots. Dissatisfaction among working people in 1894 was ignited by an effective devaluation that had passed into law on 15 October of that year, meaning 1894. A law of 1887, at the instance of the Belize merchants, had made the Guatemalan silver dollar Urs, and that then changed to a gold standard instead of the sol card, the value of the sol drop. When this was enacted by law, the sol's value was reduced by half. So that same thing the brother said earlier, the bag of money people said change the law, then go back and change the law. So remember now the value of the sol drop. So if the sol's value was reduced by half, so one sol valuing only 50 cents in gold. So if you have one sol, when you go to a shop, that not worth 100. Let's say 100 cents. No, it only worth 50 cents because that they exchange in a gold. So it's a one sol valuing only 50 cents gold, and workers' wages were drastically devalued. Check that out now, you know. Now you do work, for example, for $5 an hour because that's what the sol value. The merchants, you know, then they lose money. They say, make the currency be gold again. So they say, all right, change that to gold. Now when you sign up for work, you sign up for $5 an hour. Now, when you go, you only get $2.50 an hour. You think people are happy with that? They're never happy with that. So I say, a strike of government manual workers in Belize Town in late October 1894 was the first public sign of dissatisfaction. Now, here, who started to show dissatisfaction? Government manual workers in Belize Town, October 1894. They demanded that they be paid the same in gold as they had been paid in sols, right? So if you to pay me $5 an hour in a sol, you need to pay me $5 an hour in a gold. They had only limited success, and government agreed to pay them at the rate of 60 cents to 1 sol. So the chance, people? Now, I go back for sure, Belizeans. Majority of we don't know their stories. They're not the first time that remember now, their systems they never designed for the liberation of people who have full lives like all our world they're having, right? Oftentimes they're on capitalist system where the people what they oppressed with, then after as in what they do to indigenous and enslaved people and go to other people's country and rape them people, rape their natural resources, kill out them people for make a bag of money and go back to their country. That still happen in a different ways. So I'm reading from A History of Belize in 13 chapters by Assad Schumann, second edition. I'm on page 131. I started on 130, working class reaction, and then on 131, the 1894 riots in Okokalin, 2805848, and I shared a Black History Month, and with the Belize Communication Workers for Justice, working class people in 2026 to organize in our workers' rights for Belize and the Caribbean. I just to go back for make we know, listen, we been the resist. Been the resist. And sometimes we win and sometimes we don't win. In this case, they never get the people in. They 1-for-1 exchange. They got for 50 cents to 60 cents. They only get like, you know, 10 cents more. Anyways, a few days later, there was a mutiny by members of the constabulary, a paramilitary force made up of Black Jamaicans and Barbadians, and established in 1887 to replace the British West India regiments. No, we're talking about 1887. And it's a way I said to Belizean people, where follow the European narrative that they're not Creole. When you study the history of Belize, you have identifiable African descendants, racialized as Black people, will come from different places. So unless you do on DNA, how you know which set of Black people you come from? You never come from so European and African descendants, because there weren't enough Europeans for so much African descendants. They the majority African descendants. So to stop with Creole, African, European, British lineage. They're not so that. So here in this instance that they had people from Jamaica and Barbados. I have both in my bloodline. My pa, I know a well-bringing but my Davis Bank link. Morning, my Davis Bank people. For then in a Davis, they need a whole bank after them. My grandpa, Davis, from Jamaica. For him, para me from Jamaica. And then for my granny side, my ma, before she married Davis, it lasted in my Hilak. Indian heritage. She may live across Yaba Bridge with an Indian community. And not say East Indian, because there is no East Indian or West Indian or North Indian or South Indian. The people that come from India. So they're not Indians.
I want to call about two things. This BTL thing, provider YaYa. Not the meat they need, you know. Because we are a PG. When we go to the villages, you know the phone tell we no service. No service. But yet then they fight for bigger. And then they provide services for areas in this country. YaYa.
So when you got that happened to you?
Yeah, when I got a village I can't get.
So which village you go and you don't get no reception? You come from Penny. How far out you go?
Huh?
When you got a dump, you got reception? If you stop at the dump intersection, you got reception?
When you go behind dump.
San Antonio.
Past San Antonio. When we talk about places like Machakila, Dolores, where I'm quick and then place.
How about Halakte?
Halakte. You got it right.
You can't get service.
I can tell you something, YaYa, but what I find out, YaYa, people are Halakte, people are Graham Creek, people are Dolores.
Who the for them provider?
The people at their place, YaYa, now have telecommunication service, you know.
Far away.
People at their place enjoy university studies in the comfort of their home. YaYa.
What internet then you use?
No by BTL, no by smart.
So the full internet that you use then?
Say that again?
That for who internet, the who on the internet provider if they're not BTL and smart.
I can't tell you where they have. You hear about Starlink?
Mm-hmm.
Starlink that Belize, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you go buy the equipment?
Of course, Starlink that Belize, and people, they invest in a Starlink.
Wait, brother.
They invest in a Starlink.
You talk to anybody who buy one Starlink equipment? Because to my knowledge, where I'm hearing in the past, they never internet, but as a number of people may use the Guatemalan providers just because of the proximity of Guatemala to Belize that the connection is stronger. So when you go in the story, I think that you tell me I know they expect to hear Starlink and equipment expensive.
No. I did tell you about Starlink, YaYa. And I give you this because I get reliable information. There are people here now, they go to university virtually in the comfort of their home. And remember what I said? It is in the remote.
So you tell me some of the traditional thatch houses, they might look like traditional thatch houses. They got meaningful internet connection and they go virtual university around the world.
All right, but I did tell you about Starlink. Yeah, I did zero in for Starlink.
Yes, brother, I hear you.
Apparently Starlink is satisfy the need of rural remote villages in this country. Imagine. Then people don't have to come at home now for the border lodge. Then people do their studies at home, as I said, in the comfort of their home. So I say if Starlink could provide these telecommunication service for the rural, it definitely can do it for the urban.
You open my can of worms this morning, brother.
Do it for the urban. So YaYa. And the like way they say, there will be changes coming around, and if we're not ready for it, we'll be left behind. We'll be left behind, and we see this change in a telecommunication service, YaYa. And this thing don't need no 5-star building or 3-star or 2-story building or 1-story building. Just one modem. YaYa. And you get this wonderful service. So why we still fight so that some people line their pocket with free money?
I hear you, brother. I hear you loud and clear.
We need to advocate for the change that like what Starlink is bringing to our country, and not only to our country, to the world. YaYa. To the world. YaYa. So I want to be the first or maybe the second or the third, but I want to contribute on saying that Starlink is doing a wonderful job when it comes to telecommunication. And there's no bickering and no fighting, no protest. Everybody, and they are willingly investing in Starlink. YaYa, I want to touch for one more thing. Indigenous YaYa. I just hear that there will be a $40 million invested in the indigenous people of this country. You know that Toledo, YaYa. Some of us aren't regarded as indigenous.
Brother.
That Toledo, some of we are regarded as indigenous.
So how you identify, what is indigenous to you? What indigenous mean to you?
Well, I believe that indigenous are all the people who reside in this country. All the people who reside in this country presently. So YaYa, make we know make no harm about it. For me, I believe all indigenous, all people are indigenous. The Maya, the Garifuna, the East Indian, and I believe we can't. I want to look at the Mennonite, but I believe everybody had to be beneficiaries of this 80 million Belize, $40 million US dollar. But you know what I don't get to understand? that this $40 million, the US, will be put into the laps of an individual who YaYa, we know and considering some of us to be indigenous. So YaYa,
okay, what important for understand the how the $40 million get broke down, right? So what you say, because I talked to somebody else about it, because I did it too, right? So I say, again, it's an AI, but we get it through the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, 5Cs.
all right.
All
You're
right.
correct. You're
So
correct.
so then get it from the Green Climate Fund, GCF. And I highlight the $40 million initiative. So it's a $40 million for indigenous communities as of February 11, 2026. Belize is utilizing $40 million USD climate fund designed by Maya communities in the south, channeled to the GCF.
Yeah. Another 610 or another 613 or 615. So I want to end by saying, if any money is to come for indigenous, let all the indigenous people benefit from it, YaYa. And let us look at what can be done to have Starlink supply our telecommunication service across the length and breadth of this beautiful jewels of ours, Belize. Thank you, YaYa.
Thanks for the call from Penny, brother. Big call list. Thanks.
Respect.
Ayo. Break time.
Get ready for fantastic discounts from now through to September 30th. Venice is having store-wide discounts on tools, paints, appliances, plumbing and electrical products, lights and fans, household items, and much, much more. Visit a Venice store near you to enjoy fantastic discounts from now through to September 30th. Only at Venice. Quality and savings.
Sea una persona ocupada o atrapada en el tráfico, o que tenga una circunstancia adversa o muy exigente, la tensión se acumula y lo estresa. El estrés ataca a todos en cualquier momento, a cualquier edad. El estrés es un asesino. Es mejor estar vivo que muerto, así que visite la farmacia de Freetown para obtener opciones.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué puedo hacer para usted hoy?
Estoy bien estresado.
Ok, tengo una pastilla que te va a ayudar, ¿ok? Que toma una de eso al día, para 10 días, y va a estar bien después, ¿sabes?
Ok. Farmacia Freetown, carretera 28 Freetown, donde estás mejor vivo que muerto. Farmacia Freetown, teléfono 22 32 87 6.
For decades, BEL has powered Belize's growth and progress, lighting homes, energizing industries, and fueling national development. But in a world reshaped by extreme weather patterns, digital transformation, and evolving customer needs, the future of energy demands a new approach. The future of energy is now, and it's not just about new technology, it's about people and how we use, manage, and store power smarter. BEL is leading the transformation, blending modern advancements with the wisdom of sustainable energy practices. Integrating technologies will redefine how Belize produces and uses energy. With distributed generation and smart grid technologies, customers are becoming power partners. Energy is no longer a one-way street. BEL is making key investments that will reinforce the grid to make this a reality, ensuring energy security for generations. At BEL, we are more than an energy provider. We work to safeguard Belize's energy future, which will have demand response programs, where customers will be able to shift use during peak hours to take advantage of the new time of use or off-peak rate structures. Customer energy portals, real-time insights and tools to track usage and manage energy smarter. Smart metering, advanced metering infrastructure, faster, safer service and actionable energy insights. Distributed generation, integrating rooftop solar, microgrids and battery storage for two-way power flows into the national grid. Together, we are bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
vibes. No, I love community conversation. Like, wanna make my day when this phone just ring, 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 and people talk about anything what they want to talk about. That one big bus coming out of Penny. They don't like I never hear that there's some people who may use the Starlink. I remember that owned by the European oppressor capitalist Elon Musk. We from South Africa, the way you have your roots. Morning, talk to me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Sandra Poy.
Oh, morning, sis. Deepest condolences on the... One sec, Sister Sandra.
They're doing a good job now of promoting a love affair with Mr. Musk and his undertakings, right?
Well,
what's the matter with us, YaYa? What is the matter with us?
Why do you say that?
With $40 million US is not even half of a drop of the value of what was extracted from the Western Hemisphere, the loss of human life. In 100 years, the population of the Western Hemisphere, only 10% was left. So when they bring 40 million, man, what's the matter with us? We feel obliged to bow down, genuflect, kiss the ring in gratitude. There's no need for gratitude. That doesn't represent anything at all. I'm sorry. But this shows you exactly what the fight of BPL and SMART is about with the people of the League. Doesn't it show you? Suddenly we are going to hear about a $40 million to invest in communication, which comes out of the climate fund, to invest in communication to bring in indigenous populations. And I note that the gentleman didn't fail to mention the other black population in this country. Evidently, they don't exist for him. Now, the person, the entity that he has mentioned, Starlink, and he gave an extended conversation on Starlink. The owner of that business issued a statement about 2 to 3 weeks ago on his position on the preservation and survival of, in quotes, the white race. That gentleman has been called to appear before the French judiciary, initially in a voluntary capacity, to explain all the pornographic material exploiting children that was found in the premises of his business in France. As we speak, Spain is moving to pass a law to control the access of children. I think it may be up to 16. I'm not sure of the cutoff age range. So, social media, period. So how come those societies are worried about what the access to social media and to the internet can do to their children, and we have absolutely no worry and no concern about the matter? That gentleman was the one brought in by the current administration in the United States that has stripped people of employment. They are moving to strip, and the people who will suffer most are the native populations on the reservations, the black population, the poor, migrant Hispanic population. They are the people who will suffer most. So I don't then set that aside. This gentleman is proposing, he currently has about 9,000, I think it is, satellites in the atmosphere. I may not have the exact number. He's proposing to install in space over 1 million satellites strewn all over the stratosphere, upper, whatever name you want to give that area of air space over the planet. Do we realize that what is taking place there is one of the most extraordinary land grabs in history? They have no more land now on the planet to grab unless they push people out who are occupying, as they are doing in Gaza, as they are doing in the West Bank, as they want to do in Greenland, as they want to do all over the place. So they have to push out an existing population to put their population in. But by floating 1 million satellites, that means virtually the entire airspace way up high covering the planet. This is where these instruments will be located. So when we pass a law, like for example, in the Constitution of Guatemala, they define clearly what is Guatemalan territory. The terrestrial portion, the maritime portion, and the space in the air above Guatemala. Some countries make a precise definition. But we will have all these satellites floating all over the place that don't belong to us. We will have no control. And that gentleman has already shown his willingness to exercise capricious, whimsical provision of services. So if you do something that is not in compliance or in keeping with American policy, or you pose some threat of a kind to his personal interest, or you are taken off, you're not allowed access. It has happened in Ukraine. Now it's happening, and I'm not sure if all of Russia, but in a part of Russia, definitely I know. It has happened in Palestine. So if you're going to go into business with somebody, just because you are so gullible, you are so unsophisticated that you don't understand what that business is really all about. That's the new stage of colonization, YaYa. That's what it is. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not a technology that you want to keep up with. But man, study all the lies and misinformation and disinformation, the system of misinformation that's being promoted through AI. And our people don't read. We are not the people who read. We are not the people who are informed. How are people going to be able to evaluate the information being fed to them? They can't, they don't speak the English language and all properly, and all the information will come in French, English. How are they going to know when they are making a mistake, when the information being conveyed is wrong because it's linguistically structured, either intentionally or accidentally wrongly? They won't know. So we are least prepared for utilizing and coping with that technology. That technology is being used now for planetary control, as these people seek to move their affairs to another planet or moon or wherever. And we are not prepared. Just listen to the gentleman. This is not that someday or a day Starlink will not win the game, or another Starlink will. It will win the game. Look, YaYa. Look at the willingness with which humanity turned over its information to the cloud. I have a friend who died recently. I kept telling him, you don't put any information for me on the cloud. He was into the cloud. Cloud, I get fed up here in the world, cloud. I tell him, you don't realize what they're doing? All your information out there is not, you think it's sealed from their interference? They can intervene and enter that information. I could do it. So if I could do it, they can do it. They can do it even better than I, because they have kept up with the software and technology and the hardware technology. So we don't understand what they're doing to us. When they gave us free email, and you have all these messages that come and go, and you're not even thinking where it's being stored because it's free. Well, that's all stored, and they have to have it stored somewhere on computers. It's not stored in the sky, in the air. It's stored on computers. So they have to build now these massive data centers to store this information from your email, from all the files you want to keep in the cloud, and all your marriage certificate and the death certificate, the birth certificate. And when you die, if nobody has access to that information, you didn't give anybody the password, that information is lost to you forever. But it's out there, and they're using it and monetizing it and selling that information on you. As we speak, there is a struggle with the British, with Great Britain, signing a contract on digital service provision where they want to insert a clause that they must have access to the National Health Insurance, the NHI information database. People are serious, YaYa, when they come to negotiate with us. We who can't even read the thing properly, we couldn't even read the Guatemala acuerdo properly, agreement properly. We couldn't read it properly. And if they could have fooled us on that, we are at the ICJ when we shouldn't be there at all. So if they could fool us on that, what do you think they're going to do with us, with Starlink and any other link they want to put us into? What are they going to do with us? We don't even understand the cloud. You know, many friends of mine have tried to say, you are not being given anything for free, man. Nobody else, people don't give it. They have to buy computers. They have massive data storage. They did that for you for free. You know how much that costs? You know that the electricity for one, that I think it's in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken, is equal to the electricity used that they gave the urban area that is equal. So I don't remember the name of the urban. The electricity for one data center is equal to the domestic electricity consumption of a particular small urban area. Now, not only that, to cool down the data centers, they are going to need massive access to water. So you know what they're going to do? They'll have to kill off a whole lot of human beings because we need water to drink, we need water to cook with, we need water to bathe, we need water to wash our homes, we need water to flush the toilet. Man, that's heavy competition for water. And they need the water to cool down the data centers, the computers, and not to mention the new quantum computers that they are developing, which need water, which need temperatures at freezing to run. No. We need a discussion on this that our people understand exactly when you're going to walk into the fire, you better know what you are walking into. The experience of 1492, we would be insulting all our forebears who died in that process. If all we can do is accept the conditions of a new colonization, man, that will be worse than that one was. And by the way, that's not the only colonization. Go to Rome, go to China. They like to come and tell you right on your radio station, oh, China never colonized, Russia never, like, with you? You don't really know that history? No. I know, accept the 40 million, you can't give me 40 million as an exchange from 1492 to now. You can't. That price is too little. Just take you don't need no other situation in the Haitian, and that's a 40 million, they even begin to equal what they owe the Haitians. What that money has accrued in value over time. No, man. Whoever, So now who's going to get the 40 million? This is detailed. So this is why we're restructuring our whole communication system to access 40 million US dollars. Yeah.
Sister Sandra, the 40 million US, they know for do with the, to my knowledge, the 40 million US dollars for indigenous communities through the 5 C's have to do with the climate funding.
I understand that, but the gentleman is asking for it to be used for communication. You didn't hear him?
That's that never why overstanding me to say. I think I overstanding me to say 2 different things. So the concern for him is who will benefit from that party.
Communication, right?
No, that
access to Starlink.
No. What I understood him to be saying, he had 2 different positions. He bring up the 40 million US that is for indigenous people.
Yes.
Okay, and so that I mean one thing. And then one second thing where he bring up that why BTL would have consider make that kind of investment when you have one competitor like Starlink where they benefit rural areas, and that's something where urban communities might consider. But I never put that 40 million US dollars with the telecommunication concern.
I understood him. I don't know the explanation you're giving may apply. But my fundamental understanding is that there is an argument being put out on the fact that Starlink is in Belize.
Mm-hmm.
You have expatriates in Belize.
Mm-hmm.
And they will want all the amenities of outside within Belize. And there are Belizeans who will want those amenities at any price, at any cost. My position is, don't bring that to me now as you're battling. So you'll have to explain that in the context of the BTL smart crisis, because don't fool yourself. Starlink is in the middle of this discussion. It is. I said that from the very beginning. It is there. But even if it weren't, whatever else would be, something will be in there, because this is a bigger discussion than Belize. This is a discussion about the planet, about the management of the planet. That's what this is all about.
Valid.
Do you get the impression that we understand that YaYa?
No, sis. Somebody just text me and say the point, and I agree that one different colonization. I never know what you say about Guatemalan's constitution and a part of the for the territorial boundaries, this airspace above for the territorial and marine. I never know that. So
well, it's logical, YaYa. It's logical that if you live on a piece of land, the air above that land, as far as you can go, it covers that territory. So it's controlled by that territory. But if you are going to float 1 million satellites and more, 10 million, whatever, up there, you are technically taking over the airspace of the planet. Not to mention how that will interact. Look at what happened in Texas last week. When the Trump government, which they are denying, they've given out some peculiar story, inserted into the atmosphere technology that then caused problems with airplane transport, medical airplane transport, all kinds of things in El Paso. You can type it in and look it up.
And then the same thing that happened in Venezuela, them closing Venezuela airspace.
So if you have, this was over the airspace of El Paso. What do you think is going to happen worldwide when we have, not to mention the debris that will be floating in there? Yes, they may figure out a way eventually to capture the debris, but we have to wait until they figure that out. While that is floating and falling and all over it. This is not an imaginary nightmare. This is a reality of this. We are going through a weather crisis. because we are going through a climate crisis. What will be involved with that? Clouds, rainfall, heat, all of that. Now you're going to insert and cover the air space way up there around the planet with these machines that you don't yet know, you haven't even figured out how to control the problems that they will cause. You don't see that will have an effect on human life?
Yes,
and
Sister
on
Sandra.
life period, not only human life, huh?
Yes, valid points. We need to have a further discussion. I have to go to a break, but I make a note of where to say valid points you're making. As usual, you're usually ahead of the crowd. Big respect. Thanks. Break time.
We're handing over approximately $24,000 in pipes, which will be used for expansion purposes, connection to new households that don't have access to water. The San Esteban Village Water Board has about 534 connections, households connected. However, as you know, across this country, the government has been doing a lot of new expansion, and young people, new landowners want to develop. Of course, having access to water is a very key part of them building their homes. So what we did, we worked with the water board and we came up with the materials which we thought would be of a better priority or higher priority and more urgency.
The piping will assist the community, and especially for new connections. We know there's sometimes expansions happen in distant places, and then for the owner who needs the connection to be able to finance that entire cost of taking the piping all the way to his place, this will bring a great relief to all those new customers, where the board will be able to provide part of the piping system.
Likewise, we're handing over a brand new Caterpillar generator. As you know, sometimes in the past, when the BL grid goes down, once the system doesn't have a backup power supply or electricity supply, then the water system goes down.
Whatever happens with the national grid or a power outage in our area, the water will continue flowing. Ensuring that we have a steady water supply with good water pressure is what every consumer, every citizen in this country looks forward.
On behalf of the Village Council and the people of San Esteban, I extend our sincere gratitude to the government of Belize.
We believe in this ministry that no matter where you live, you deserve to enjoy the same amenities that make life better for everyone.
I want to encourage you to please ensure that you continue to expand that water. Make sure that water reaches every single person in this community.
There's so many things that we in the urban areas, like in our Droptown and the Belize City, that we take for granted, that you do not have in the villages. And we want to ensure that the villages also have the very same opportunities and the services that we all have.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
You don't hear about how you could shop online with Builders Hardware?
It's easy and convenient. Plus, you get special deals and discounts online where you not get in at the store. Just log on to shopbuildersbz.com and pay with your Visa, MasterCard, debit or credit card. You could choose to pick up your order from the Smart Lacaneda Builders or Easy could deliver for you. If that's a big thing, the Builders truck could deliver for you. If you need more information about anything, you could start chat right here online with a salesperson. We're ready to help you. No need to burn gas and waste time in a traffic. Go to shopbuildersbz.com.
Belize Morning Vibes. This is our last segment. We still have another break. We had some calls come in during the break, but it was break time. So, who get in first? 280-5848. 280-5848. We talked about a number of things this morning. The last call from Sister Sandra Coe, well, really the brother, we called from Penny and triggered the call. Morning, thanks for calling WB. Talk to me.
Yeah, YaYa, my sister. I tried to reach a long time, but the conversation was so interesting. Then Miss Kowick came on and she grabbed your attention when she started to talk. So you got to listen to her. But I want to divert because I have a serious problem, YaYa. And I talked with Mose about it already. And I decided this morning to call in and ask viewers or listeners if they could give me a hand with donation to build back my house. Last month, in November, the city council, they fixed the street and they shake my house off at the foundation. And I honestly, that was naive to believe that they would have helped. But I thought they would have helped by now, and they decided that they're not even none.
What their address?
38 Iguana Street.
38 Iguana Street.
A as in apple.
30A. What's your name, brother? Or not give me a name, not give me a name. Just give me a number.
632-2881.
I want to call you because I expect one call from the Belize Workers Communications for Justice. I want to call you today. 632-2881.
All right.
I'll call you back. Today.
Before you go, you give a guy a number to text you.
671.
I take down a number and I send you one link with the Belize, with the show where they do today. With the Belize mahogany thing and the slave thing and whatnot. I send you the link, but I look on the same number where I send it to and I don't see it up there. So they assume you don't get it.
671-8050.
Yeah, that's what I got. 671-8050.
Send it to me again. I want to check it after the show.
All right, good.
All right, thanks, brother. One love. I know my sister to try getting Sister Emily Turner from the Belize Workers Communication for Justice. They have one new flyer out. Every week I look forward to whatever the next action will be for Belizeans participate. Carlin says, the line free now, but I saw it go. Now who get in first? 280-5848. While I wait for she linking, Christy, bring up the flyer for me. Sister Emily to try getting. But this particular flyer, it says non-compliance. This is from BTL remains in non-compliance. Morning, talk to me.
Good morning.
Morning, talk to me.
Mr. YaYa, we grew up in this country. If you can remember, I think you all are me. I nearly reached 50, but we grew up in this country where we had national pride. Even some of the politicians had national pride. The union leaders were real union leaders who really care about the workers, we care about the country, and we expose everything really happening in this country. But we look down past time now and look to what Ms. Cowie said, and we have to say that who signed all these deals that the Belizean people did at bottom of the barrel. Now, who signed all these deals when our government could say $800 million road roundabout our street, but only $8 million to build some tool shed. And maybe people are like, yes, you have to thank goodness where they build something safe. But how when the politician house, dog house bigger than your house? Where they heart this? Where they heart this? And then the union leaders, I know all of them have been around there. It's sad to see that all these people that make this happen in this country, where USA and the IMF and all of them go out of we leaders, slap them, kiss them, and then they just sign off this country. When we made grow up, we know that this country may had 150 black shops. Now, who own the wholesale in Belize? The Chinese and the Hindu and the Arab. Who own everything in Belize? All these big buildings wrong here. Who own it? The Mexican, the Colombian. And who make their own it? Past politicians. people were born, grow in a we see time and era. Sell out this place. Because this country, I could tell you no, it's done. The people continue to sleep. And see a thing when it comes to Starlink, it comes to the Chinese chicken. People, they post up a thing where everybody say, raise chicken. All I want is stop selling because you know you are what you eat. And if you eat chicken every day, I eat from this Chinese, I eat up the MSG and it's still fat. You are what you eat, and that's the way they catch the Belizean people. By the time the Belizean people look around and realize what happened, we have got literally one iron cage over us. The youth, they want us, where we in the do? Where we in the do? What are we doing? We look at LAWS, we look at all these people. How you want to protest SSB? Why you not protest the man where they look to sign the deal with Ashcraft and get rid of him? That's the question why I want to ask Dean. Because Dean know all of them, CW president, all of them know what they do. But all of them sign under that UDPUP banner where they still the vote. I believe no union leader should abuse any voter. Because that's the way they go wrong. And all of them know where they get behind the scenes. All of them are this board, BTL board, all these boards, they know what happened before time. And they keep it secret. They have people where willing to come out right now and whistleblower for all these union leaders because then a UDPUP. In my time, my grandpa, Rai Rivers, he never aligned with no UDPUP. He aligned with the people in the bottom. And even I could tell them my roots link where to George Price. And my grandpa link David Williams and George Price, and I believe they're not family, but I don't really look into it like that. But I just show you who sell out this country. Who's how 1,000 Chinese shops across this country? Say the Chinese pick up and go tomorrow. It'll be a good thing, but it'll be a suffering. Because the national pride not there. Look on the port. The port was to be sold by Belizean. You know who own the port now? You know who own Johnny Bisseno, gas station now? The Chinese buy that. So when the Chinese ready to put dollar on anything in this country, they just call each other for one text and dollar for anything, shilling for anything. We are slaves in this country. They have we locked up in a cubicle where none of we can come out and really hit the streets and say, get rid of this man, top of this country, because all of we know generation are detrimental to this country. We need an Ibrahim Traore mind leader in this country. And everything that Ms. Corey talk about, Ms. Corey, they tell you know, will lead to slavery. And the politicians will not think that when Starlink, everybody don't do what they have to do, and the USA government don't get everything where they have to get, that they want respect, you know, and put on a sweet piece of land and not expose, you know, because if you read the 25 goals of the Illuminati and know where the Illuminati and the Freemasons Jesuits, then they do wrong the world, like what Ms. Corey say. And it's sad that we elect. Well, we not elect because these people buy votes from the people. So no election happens. Election is a fraud. SSB is a fraud. One day, PUDP politician get up and say, let's go make SSB for a bank for yourself because nobody can go in that as normal Belizean and tell SSB I want to build a house. I don't have no house. But one politician boy and friend could go there and borrow 30 million and do something and don't pay it back. And we have one lead blah 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 pan the airwaves and it blow off like a lead breeze.
Respect, brother. I forgot a break. Valid points you make. Sister. Respect, brother. Sister. One love. Guidance. Break time.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m., en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Get ready for fantastic discounts. From now through to September 30th, Venice is having store-wide discounts on tools, paints, appliances, plumbing and electrical products, lights and fans, household items, and much, much more. Visit a Venice store near you to enjoy fantastic discounts from now through to September 30th. Only at Venice. Quality and savings.
for shop time for Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We have Sister Emily Turner, the leader of the former BTL employees group, Belize Communication Workers for Justice. And I want to quickly go over the flyer when I released today. Sister Emily, go ahead and bring up the flyer now. We're entitled BTL Remains in Non-Compliance.
Good morning, Belize. I felt it was so important for us to always continue engaging with the public, and so that they can see the things that we have to be doing. So I want to start off this morning by saying that you guys have seen that for us for the last 3 weeks, we've been trying to get our former employer to come into compliance and pay the severance to all the farmers workers of BTL, because the CCJ has interpreted our laws, and where they were saying we were not entitled to the severance, the CCJ has said that yes, we are. So now we are at the point where we have peacefully protested. We have, in the months before, we had written to them, and so they still remain in non-compliance. So our group has a plan, and so you guys can see we wanted to make sure that we follow on our processes, on what trade unions do. We follow a process. We try to reason with people. We try to reason with our employers, because our former employer in this case, because that's what responsibility is about. So this week we are launching our campaign to educate in some aspects, but to also make sure that we go to the right bodies here in Belize that are responsible for enforcement. So as you can see with the flyer that we have put out, we are basically now turning our attention to the people in this country to who the labor law gives the power to get these employers into compliance. Because we are saying, look, BTL still remains in non-compliance. We have written to them. We have protested in front of their offices, and they still are not moving. And now we will focus and move our attention. And also in this process, we hope to educate everybody that has issues who has employment issues. We want to make sure that people understand when you have these challenges, the body in this, the labor law says that it is the labor commissioner that must ensure that enforcement of our entire Labor Act is being carried out by employers. And so that section is Section 4(1)(c) of the Labor Act. And so as you can see on the flyer, we are explaining that BTL remains in non-compliance. And because of that, then we will now turn to the body that was given to us to enforce. So the Labor Commissioner, Mrs. Risela Dominguez-Pat, she will be hearing from us this week. The Minister of Labor, who is the person that oversees that department, has a responsibility to make sure that his department, the Labor Department, acts on what our challenges are. So we do have planned some activities for this week that is specifically geared to waking up those people in the Labor Department, because they need to come. They need to show themselves, and they need to make sure that this employer gets itself in compliance, because we are showing Belize that the little people, they're going to push back on the little people that are trying to do it. But I think BCWJ is a small little force to reckon with, and we will be pushing forward. So our energies, we will be focused on the Labor Department and seeking this enforcement that they must do on our behalf. And we do plan to have some protests this week. We will be we'll follow our process where we will be making that submission. We may have a surprise protest of where we will be shifting our focus on. I cannot already give it away, I guess. But we are ready to protest again. I think our group has met. We have strategized for this week, and you guys, we will be keeping you informed about what we'll be doing via our Facebook page. We ask for the support of the public. I was telling YaYa that this is like a teaching moment for all of us, because we always hear about the complaints that people have with the Labor Department, and they're not moving, and they have labor tribunals that almost feel like they're non-functional, and we have to change that. We have to change that. So now it's our turn to touch those mechanisms that we have in this country, and we want to challenge them. We want to challenge them, and we want to make them work. And I think that's my message today. At the Labor Department, it needs to work. It needs to work for us. They are the government of the people of Belize, and we want to challenge them. We want to make sure that they are doing their responsibilities. So we will focus on this enforcement that they ought to do, they must do, because that is what the labor law says.
Big resist.
So I know that it's been a very busy morning. It's 9 o'clock, right?
Yes.
So, all right, I have to wrap up now. Let's see tomorrow. Maybe I will join in the conversation. It was a very spirited conversation, heated conversation about Starlink. And obviously, we have some experiences with this, and we would want to share as well.
Big respect, sis.
Alrighty.
Thanks for the call.
Okay.
I have to salute under her leadership and the rest of the Belize Communication Workers for Justice. How so I tell her only organize people and change the people. Then a good example of being organized, being strategic, and at all times bringing the Belizean people along by sharing the knowledge, empowering we our whole power to account. Big respect. Uno could go to Belize Communications Workers for Justice Facebook page and check out at no convenience how you could learn. So big respect to everybody we're calling. Like I like what morning, like this morning, all kind of conversation. We had call from Penny, we had call from Belize City. I think we had call from Lads Bank. Big respect. This is our community space, and we only could do this with genuine community involvement. This morning, one of community security guard, Roger Rushford, known as Rafa, now that Shane Flowers here at XTV in our studio, the Master Chief Operator, Technical Director, our sister Christy Flowers, the Senior Engineer, Brother Cliff Lewis. Downstairs, the Creme Radio, we have Larry Guerrero, known as Larry G. Brother Mosai should be back tomorrow morning. And again, we can't thank the Belizean people enough for continuously support all the products, content from behind the zinc fence, because we know that we only could do this with people power. So till tomorrow morning, remember say, only organize people and save the people.
Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize, wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB, get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play around, get where you need to. You can tune in for work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's the show, no matter even if you're at home. Just call